Some amount of car insurance is required in almost every state, which makes car insurance shopping basically mandatory for most people. Even if you're part of the majority who keep renewing their existing policy, you should compare rates and policies every year to make sure you're getting a great deal. And whether you need a new policy or you're considering a switch, shopping for car insurance will be easier and more productive if you follow a logical process. First, before you start asking for quotes, figure out how much coverage you actually need and which types of coverage you want. Your state will require a certain amount of liability coverage, and it might also require uninsured or underinsured motorist bodily injury coverage. Major insurance companies will provide quotes that meet minimum legal standards, but you should also verify on your own what your state requires. And don't assume the minimal legal coverage will be enough to really protect you. Consumer Reports recommends carrying at least $100,000 of property liability coverage and bodily injury liability coverage of $100,000 per person and $300,000 per accident. Beyond what's required, you can also get optional medical coverage for your own injuries, collision coverage for crash-related damage to your car, and comprehensive coverage for non-accident damage to your car. Once you have a good idea of the specific coverage you're shopping for, it's time to start requesting quotes. Make sure you are comparing equivalent policies and equivalent coverage to find the true best price. Because your premiums will be based mostly on your risk profile, there's only so much you can do to get a better price from any individual carrier. If you're committed to squeezing out the best deal you can, you should focus on discounts and deductibles. Insurers offer dozens of valuable discounts for things that make it cheaper for them to insure you, such as being a good student, bundling policies together, having a safe driving record, and so on. Every time you get a quote, you should ask about which discounts you might qualify for. If you're a very safe driver and you have the funds to cover a possible emergency, the next best way to lower your costs is to ask for quotes with a higher deductible. By now you've seen the options and you should have it narrowed down to a few great deals, but resist the temptation to jump at the cheapest policy you find. Investigate your insurer's consumer reputation, or you might end up losing more than you save in the form of underpaid claims, hassle, and time spent fighting with the insurer. Review an insurer's complaint statistics and financial health at your state insurance commissioner's website and find consumer ratings and reviews on the internet. Once you've identified a policy you like from a company you trust, the last step is to review the specifics of your coverage and ask any questions you have. At least find out what is excluded from each type of coverage you're buying.